Hello, all and y'all. Welcome to the Counseling Road. This is Stephen. Thank you for joining me today. Week 8, I believe, in my coursework with Southwestern College in the Masters of Counseling program. I did take last week off, not really intentionally did I not record, but it just didn't happen. Didn't feel right. Not sure. Just didn't happen. Sort of the time of the term where my focus is turning towards the projects that are the culminating projects of the quarter, rather than weekly. Just feeling like I'm trying to keep up with the reading schedule. The reading schedule has been tough, and I've created checklists to try and stay on top of it. But in creating those checklists, I sort of created a situation for myself where I was just checking things off a list and wasn't really sure what I was learning, and material wasn't resonating or wasn't sinking in. I didn't know. I don't know that I've really retained a lot of information, so it's sort of a tough spot to be in when now I'm transitioning to these projects where I'm expected to apply the information that I've read and learned and turn them into really self-reflective projects, because the purpose of this program is transformation of myself, and then how that translates into being a therapist and being of service to other people. So in a humbling position, to say the least, now that I should have learned something, and I know I did. I've learned a lot, and I can be a little gentler with myself, because I'm not expected to know everything at this point in the journey. I'd like to know everything, but that's a pretty irrational perfectionist perspective. So a little bit of grace, and I know that the teachers aren't looking for us to know everything or have all the answers, but to show up and be present and be willing to change. So I feel like I have that, and at least I'm saying that now, and we'll see how that translates into projects and progression in myself and in this field of being able to listen to people, being able to help, I guess. I don't know. That feels pretty selfish that I feel like I could help others ever. I'm not sure. People are pretty unique and pretty special. With that, transition to some of the material we've been going over. Multicultural awareness course. We watched a video called Crip Camp. Crip as in crippled camp. A documentary originally produced by Netflix and is now available free on YouTube. And we watched, was one of our assignments. Some things that struck me about this documentary. This camp happened around the early 70s, and lost my train of thought there. Someone walked by, but the attendees of the camp, someone was quoted as saying the counselors looked pretty freaky. The counselors, mostly hippies. And I thought that was pretty interesting that an attendee of the camp would look at the people working the camp, and they're there for service. Looks pretty weird. I thought that was pretty interesting. There was a great acoustic jam of counselors and camp attendees of "Truckin'," one of a great Grateful Dead song, and I think the Grateful Dead would have really appreciated this scene. You know, everyone's invited. The line in another song is escaping me at the moment, but everyone can come along. Something in playing in the band, I think, but pretty neat. The disabled community or differently abled community, it's a pretty sensitive subject, along with everything. These are sensitive subjects. Gosh, what is my note? At the 33 minute in there, there's the fear of one of the differently abled campers. He had the fear that he couldn't speak up or fight with his mother, who was his primary caregiver, because he relied on her so much, and that if he were to fight too much, that he might not get the things he needed to survive. His special supplies to be fed, to be changed, whatever that may be. And this struck me as just a severe limitation on this person's ability to be fully human and experience the world and just get what they need, just food and clothing, medicine, if that's what they need to survive. That was pretty humbling. Another moment that struck me near the beginning, one of the counselors admitted to being terrified or affronted by the visual of the differently abled campers showing up, with their different physical appearances, their the things they need, their wheelchairs, their crutches, whatever it may be. And this counselor was just stopped and didn't know how to proceed. But then somehow momentum, like I think maybe actually even a person actually just kind of physically went like, hey, go forward. And that's what this person needed, was just the momentum of going forward, and then to be able to help someone. To me, that tied into a passage from How Can I Help? Ram Dass and Paul Gorman's book, reading for another class for the psychology of altruism. Story in the book. It was a clown at a child's burn ward, and doing a great job in bringing laughter and light into these children's hearts and lives. But then the clown was struck and stopped in this moment when he saw a child that was so burned and deformed that he didn't know how to move forward, and he was just stuck. Didn't see the human in this person anymore, because what we think of as human and worthy had disappeared, and the physical representation of this child was just melted away, literally. But the realization is that there's something in that person that's human and person. It's a person that needed the laughter and needed to be treated like a human, despite how they might appear. And this was done by another child walking by, shocked, brought the clown back into that moment of momentum and going forward. This child walked by the dorm, the burn ward, this particular scene of the clown paused and looked at the kid and said, "Hey, ugly," blah, 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 and then the kid smiled. And then there was a brightness in the child, because it was just being treated like any one of the other kids. The kid knew he was deformed and suffering, but by saying, "Hey, ugly, you're just one of us. Hey, you got some shit going on. I don't know. You'll." I don't know. It just struck me, and I ramble because I don't know what to say. This has been a problem for me the last couple of weeks, is I don't know what to say, and maybe I won't ever know what to say, and brings into line my intention for the altruism course and my personal project of listening with acceptance. And it's hard for me to listen. And it's hard for me to not try like I have to solve the problem and know what to say. Again, words are just kind of failing me, and maybe that's the point. This problem is then exacerbated again in the multicultural awareness class, like I don't know what to say half the time. I don't have formed thoughts. And as the teacher listens to other students, I'm feeling sorry for myself that I don't have an answer or a formed thought, and then I'm not getting approval and praise from this instructor, which a little positive reinforcement will go a long way. I know that, but I guess I just need to listen more. That's a tough thing. So I'm working with Southwestern College. They offer student support, and so if you're able to ask for help and you don't, then that's your problem. So I know there's some support that I can utilize, and I have reached out to this group of students and faculty who someone will maybe help me, but at least be an avenue for me to express some of these thoughts and maybe find some perspective. So I'm grateful for that, and humbled and also terrified of this setting, of what it might bring up in myself about my needs, which I don't know what they mean. So everything else is going great. Life is good for me, and I had a weird experience over the weekend, and I'm trying not to bring that into today and yesterday and tomorrow. It happened over the weekend, and I don't have to let that define how I feel and can interact today, and how that can influence. And I can choose to allow positivity to influence my life. All right. Anyway, this is no poem, but maybe you think some of this is poetic, maybe not. I'd like to speak more poetically and openly, and as I write more, I'll share more about things I've written. And well, thanks to anybody who's listened, and thanks to myself for sitting down to continue to do this project, because this is valuable for me. And then maybe the next step will be going back and listening and watching myself, which is a whole nother challenge. So, any hoodle, much love. Drink some water. Everybody have a great day. Thanks so much.